So I thought I'd show you my tubs and how pleased I've been with them again this year. Um, it's really beginning to look like spring. You can see we've got some primulas there. Those are the ones that I bought from Brookside Nurseries late on, the ones that look like primroses. And we've got the Iris reticulata, which I always think is stunning and really worth growing. The only one thing I will say, as I always say about them, they do go over very quickly, particularly if it becomes mild like it is at the moment, but still worth growing in tubs and in the garden, definitely. And the tete-a-tete daffodils are just beginning to show signs of yellow in some of the tubs. But so I've been delighted again. These have been flowering all winter. I know there's really no such thing as, it's really more like spring bedding, but there's been bits of flower on these the whole time. These are some more Iris reticulata I've got round the back, and yeah, when you look at the flowers closely, I know there again we don't often come out this time of the year, but they're spectacular. I think these little Iris are amazing. How you've got the different sort of colours on them, and they're such a burst of colour. They seem to come up so quickly in and around February. And I've got some more of those Brookside smaller primulas here, and they're very small plants they were, but they're getting going, as I say, and they should go on really flowering right till May. But I think the Iris are so, they're magical little things, really. How they come up so quickly and give you that really burst of wonderful colour. One of my favourite bulbs for tubs, these small Iris reticulata. And then in this tub we've got some slightly different colours, a bit more purpley ones with the yellow kind of feathery bits on them as well, which are quite amazing again. As I say, such a worthy plant to grow. So easy, just push the bulbs in some compost in a tub, or even if you just want them in a pot, a nice clay flower pot, and they won't let you down. And they'll probably, I put them in the garden after they've been in tubs, and then they almost kind of naturalise themselves. You might lose a few of them, not everyone will survive, but most of them do, and they seem to be quite happy in the garden. I think they're a bit like snowdrops. They don't like disturbing. If you leave them in a place that you're not going to dig or fork, and they kind of naturalise themselves. I thought I'd show you these big clump of old-fashioned Victorian style, what I call violets, and these come from a very old cottage garden, so they are probably a Edwardian Victorian variety, and there again they never let you down. And I wish I could give you smelly vision, because in the sun, with the sun on them, they have such a wonderful, amazing scent, and will tolerate shade as long as you give them a little drop of water in the summer just to keep them ticking over. They are, they're again one of my favourite things to look out for this time of year. And there's loads of flowers on them. You could pick them. I mean, they used to have violet cellars in London, didn't they, outside the big stations in the Edwardian days and late Victorian times, I think. But a lovely plant, and as I say, the scent is absolutely gorgeous. If I pick one and put it to that, you can see, as I say, a lovely colour, and there again, a well-worthy plant that'll tolerate any sort of ground, under trees. It's grown in this hedge bottom here, and that's the sort of location it really kind of likes. I was just looking at my nut tree, and some of the catkins on it, and a lot of people think that the catkins are where the nuts come from, but that is not the case. All the catkins are doing is pollinating the little flowers, and you really have to look hard at this time of year to see these smallish flowers. And look, I've just found some there. Can you see those tiny little red flowers there where my thumbnail is? That is the flower, and that gets pollinated hopefully by the catkins blowing in the wind, and obviously that will form the nuts. So yeah, you have to. It's always good to look out on this. This is the twisted hazel. If you've got any little, it's to look for the little red flowers. Fascinating. When I start looking, I can see loads on this tree now. It usually always has a good crop of nuts. Not that it's grown for that; it's grown for its wonderful sort of stem. And particularly in the winter when it loses, it's one of the last trees to lose its leaves, and it has wonderful twisted trunk, stems and branches. An amazing little tree. And I've said another one of my favourite early spring flowers is the hellebores. They to me are amazing. How they hang their heads, and they seem to pop up from nowhere. 1 week you've got no flowers, and the next week you've got a lovely display. They'll self-seed everywhere in your garden once you've got a bit of it. These suffered a couple of years ago with that really dry. It's under some trees here, and they suffered really under that really dry summer we had. I thought they'd almost died, but I kept watering them. And but they're saying a lovely plant, a real plant again of early spring to me. Well worth having in your garden, definitely. And this camera hasn't got a tremendous zoom on it, unfortunately, but I think you'll probably see again the water meadows are absolutely full up of water again. The river and the backwater have burst its banks yet again for the umpteenth time this winter, and the water meadows in the willow trees down there are all flooded, which is what they were designed to do. That's what water meadows are, and that's their purpose. That when the river reaches its maximum level, the water just spills over into those and it doesn't hurt anything. As I say, these are some of the last water meadows, believe it or believe it not, left on this river. And this river is, well, a good 75 miles long between here and Peterborough and the Wash, as the crow flies. So a bit sad really how we've developed, on water meadows and low-lying ground. But it's lovely to see it get so many different birds. The egrets come back, and a lot of different sort of wildfowl come in when the floods come up like that. I mean, years ago it was an annual occurrence, and people from our village used to skate. They used to freeze over and they used to skate on the flooded water. So as always, thanks for watching, and it's lovely to see these signs of spring, and I just hope it comes a bit dry and I can get on with some serious jobs. I've still got to finish my pond off, and it's got so high now I've got to pump some water out before I can even do any more work on that. But hopefully things will start to improve, and it's lovely to see the spring signs and flowers starting to come out. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks to all the new subscribers, and like, comment, and I'll catch up with you in another video. Until then, bye for now.